Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a Sacred Union Energy Update. Yes, we are back with the in-depth readings rather than the mini readings. I hope you guys have enjoyed the mini readings. I will continue to do those as I'm called to or as my schedule demands, so just hang in there with me. But today we're going to be doing an in-depth reading. It is the winter solstice. Well, winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. It is the 1221 portal. And actually what we channeled was the phrase gateway of light. Make sure you're checking out my sister channel, Susan Dawn Ascension Connections. I have a new sacred channeling up there called Trial by Fire that recaps the energies of the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, as well as this solstice energy and what is preparing us for where we're heading into. But today I wanted to take a look at the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine and see what's going on with them in the solstice energy. We're using the Mary Magdalene Oracle, which I used briefly in that sacred channeling. And we're going to take a look at Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. I want to look at their ascension journeys, and then we'll dive into how are they feeling about the other, you know, where is this union heading, things like that. There are so many shifts and changing that are taking place right now. It almost feels like it's hard to catch up. So just roll with the punches. That's this energy that we're in right now, just allowing ourselves to be very present, allowing ourselves to shift as the energy is shifting, allowing ourselves just to flow with the energy as things are taking place, as changes and transformations are taking place. So let's get right into it and see, where is the Divine Masculine at this time? What's going on for the Divine Masculine at this time? The Judgment. Divine Feminine. Universal Christ. That was the energy that was coming through in the Trial by Fire reading. It was the Christ consciousness that was coming in very, very strongly with this solstice energy. And I feel like that is going to pick up as we move through the holiday season and through into the new year. It is that Christ consciousness. Let me get a card for the union energy as well. What's the union energy between the two? Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys, love. And it's so funny because I saw that word right before I picked up the card. Love. Love is what is existing between you guys. It is what has always existed between you guys. I'm getting called to share this. I've been having a very challenging week, couple months. But a very challenging week. And as I was talking to my Divine Masculine, I said to him, because I admitted it to myself, I said, it's kind of scary for me to love you, because it's scary for me to completely open myself up to this love that I have never experienced in my lifetime before. I've been blessed with a lot of love in my life, being able to give and receive love, but this ascension journey and meeting my divine counterpart opened me up to love, God's love. Truly God's love. And even though I had a connection to God, it was nothing like I have now. And it opened me up to love that I had never quite experienced before. And that, of course, laid out all my traumas and all my triggers. And that's what this ascension journey really is with your sacred partner, is you are clearing all that trauma, you're clearing all the triggers in order to come back to love. And I recognize within myself how scary that has been, even for me. We tend to think that the other is the runner and that we're the chaser, but in truth, you're both. In truth, because you have both masculine and feminine energies within you, you are both. Your person is just reflecting what is within you. And I was able to really see, and I've been seeing this over the course of my journey, but I was really able to see and admit where this love can sometimes even scare me. As open and expressive as I like to think that I am, it's very difficult sometimes to be completely raw, completely open, completely vulnerable. But that's what we're learning on this ascension journey. We're really learning to open ourselves up and be our authentic selves and not worry about what others perceive us to be, not worry about pleasing other people, not worrying about other people's judgments. And so the love exists between you. The love that is there is so incredibly powerful. And as I've always said, it is the undercurrent of everything that exists between you and your counterpart, because it's the undercurrent of everything that exists in the universe. And that is this universal Christ consciousness. So it's interesting. This doesn't necessarily feel like masculine, feminine. This feels like your union as a whole. This feels like you, this feels like your masculine, and this feels like the union energy as a whole. This feels like it's a very merged energy. So I do feel like the masculine might be facing that judgment within themselves. And when I say the judgment, I feel like admitting things to themselves, finding stability, finding security within themselves after a lot of chaos and a lot of upheaval, either in their physical lives, but really in their physical lives because it was reflected in their inner lives, different than the divine feminines. Divine feminines might have experienced some upheaval and chaos in their physical world, but it was more for realignment. This feels more like, okay, you can't hold on to the past. You can't resist this love. You can't resist stability. You can't resist security in yourself. This is really the divine masculine that is building a new foundation for themselves. And I feel like they are really facing themselves with this judgment card. They're really doing the shadow work. They're really looking within. Divine feminine really, I'm getting this Michael, Archangel Michael energy around her, really protected in this cocoon of love, this cocoon of universal Christ consciousness, that Christ Sophia consciousness, really feeling connected, really feeling at one with all, really feeling the power of this love and even of this connection. So if she had been feeling a little bit detached recently or in the recent past, I feel like that detachment was necessary in order to do some more clearing, in order to do some more healing work for her. And when I say healing work, it's really recognition. Healing work is really recognition of yourself. But what's happening is that was really clearing the way for more of this unity energy, more of this union energy, more of this love energy that is and always has existed between you guys. Now they're pointing me to the lotus, and what they're saying is that you might have been through the mud or the muck with your divine counterpart. Again, the triggers, experiencing that trauma, experiencing crises, experiencing situations together that brought up traumas, that brought up triggers, that really showed you the deepest aspects of yourself. But what grows from that is the love. And that love has always been there. The love is the water. The love is the nutrients in the soil, in the mud. The love is the blossoms on the flower itself. Love is part of all of those things that make up the blossoming flower. It is a blossoming flower itself, but it's everything else. It's the water, it's the sunlight, it's the muck, the mud. Love is part of it. It's not just the flower that's on the surface that is beautiful. Love is all of it. Love is all of it. And it's almost like if you've forgotten that, allow yourself to come back to the love and the love that you feel between both of you. All right, so what I want to do is I want to get my Ascension Connections cards. This is my deck. It's a double deck. So we have the Confessions, which is the hard part of the journey, and we have the Expressions, which is like the hope and the healing part of the journey. So I want to see where each are. I'm going to kind of go through this reading pretty quickly, just because my voice is really giving way. I'm feeling myself coming down with a little something, and I'm trying to take care of myself. But I really wanted to do these readings today because I've had to reschedule so many times, and it's been so long. But so I might be a little bit rushing through this. I do apologize for that, but hang in there with me. Okay, we're going to have a couple more readings coming through next week in preparation for the new year, as we experience some changes in my business and on my channel in the new year. So stay tuned for all of that. All right, so let's get, where is the Divine Masculine on their journey as far as what are they working through right now? What's the Divine Masculine working through right now on their journey? Where are they on their ascension journey, please, Spirit? Where's the Divine Masculine on their ascension journey? Where's the Divine Masculine? I'm experiencing the 3D wobbles, feeling lost in the web of illusion. What I love about this is it really feels like Divine Masculines have been going within to connect to their crown, connect to their intuition, connect to their third eye chakra, connect to themselves, connect to source. They've really been working on their feminine energy. And so this And what I love about this is telling us that they have been seeing beyond the illusions, seeing beyond the physical. They have been seeing the higher perspective, which is that spiritual connection, really connecting to God's source, really even connecting to you, divine feminine, their inner feminine within them. And so when they say they're experiencing the 3D wobbles, all that is just a balancing out, feeling a little bit of doubt, feeling a little bit of uncertainty. Divine feminines, you felt this as well. You know the love that exists here. You can feel it within your heart. You can feel the energy. You can tune into the faith, the knowing. Your whole journey up until this point has been about trusting yourself and trusting your intuition. Divine masculines have been learning that, especially since the Lion's Gate, especially in the last couple of months. They have really been learning how to trust and honor the feminine energy within them, which is that intuitive energy. And so, divine feminines, sometimes you get caught up in the 3D illusions in the physical plane, and it's hard for you to trust your intuition. So you have doubt, you have uncertainty, you have crisis of faith. You question, you wonder, am I right? Am I crazy? Is this true? Is this real? That's the 3D wobbles, because you tend to focus so much on the physical that you forget that there's a whole other perspective. You focus so much on what you are or aren't seeing that you forget to go within and trust what's in your heart, which is the universal knowing. That's what the Divine Masculine is going through right now. So this actually feels like a really, really positive card for me. It feels like even though they might be experiencing some of these questions and doubts and questioning of faith, is this real, isn't it? It's because they are connecting to their intuition more and more and more. I don't necessarily feel like they are lost. I just feel like they are learning how to balance out their physical world with their newfound connection or deeper connection, more intimate connection to their higher self. This is amazing energy. Divine Feminine, where's the Divine Feminine? I need support from my soul family. Yeah, she might be experiencing a little bit of a balancing out herself, where she's been going back and forth. They actually just called me to get another card. So where she might be going back and forth, experiencing some doubts. 1 minute she might be in a complete place of faith and love and knowing and oneness and union energy. And the next day it might have felt like she's regressed a little bit. What I'm actually hearing is timelines. I talked about this in the Sacred Channeling, where we have been jumping timelines, going back and forth, jumping timelines quite a bit the past several months, especially with this eclipse energy. With the solstice energy, that's going to be settling, that's going to be balancing out, where we are actually stepping into, through this gateway of light, through this 1221 solstice portal, we're actually stepping into our highest timeline. So that here, and then I'm here, and then I'm here, and then I'm here, and I don't know what's happening 1 minute to the next. We're actually settling that's actually coming to a balance. So you might have actually felt the timeline shifts. You might have actually felt moment to moment the energetic shifts and been like, what the hell is going on? Because your energy was actually taking a hit from it because you were jumping timelines. Now it's settling out. And so you might have been calling in your soul family for that support. You might have been talking to soul sisters or brothers about this. You might have been seeking validation or confirmation just to kind of, wrap your head around what is going on. But that is balancing out here. Let's call to another card. What else do you need the Divine Feminine to know? I don't know how to heal this. Yeah. There was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions that were happening for you because it felt so erratic. That's the word that they're giving me, erratic. And it really did feel erratic. It felt chaotic. It felt like you can never really tell what was happening one moment to the next, except for when you went within, except for when you centered yourself, took a moment, just went into your place of the heart center, went into your place of peace. Again, follow your peace. That was the biggest advice that Spirit had given me, is follow your peace. Your outside world may look chaotic, may look erratic. Even the energy might feel erratic. But when you take a step back and just close your eyes and take a deep breath and feel within the heart space, that is when you are centering yourself. That's when you're coming back to your place of presence, and from that presence come the peace. And so you're going to be really doing that more often now, and naturally. It's not going to take as much effort as it might have felt like in the past. It's going to really be balancing out here. Okay. So what's healing for the Divine Masculine on their ascension journey right now? What's healing for the Divine Masculine? I'm grateful for the blessings I've found along the way. Yeah, they're balancing out themselves as well, and they're able to see the higher perspective. And from that place of a higher perspective, they're really able to find gratitude for the lessons and the experiences and everything that it's showing them. So that's the higher perspective. It's being able to say, okay, this isn't just happening to me, it's happening for me. I can see how this is for my expansion. I can see how this is for my ascension. I can see how this is helping me to grow or love more, open up more. I can see how this is shifting me, transforming me, and changing me. That is the ascension. That is the higher perspective. That is getting in tune with the higher self that is guiding them. And so through that gratitude, they are coming to that place of balance, and that gratitude is also showing us that, hey, they're not just stuck in the 3D wobbles. They're not lost in the web of illusions. They are seeing beyond that. So amazing confirmation here. Divine Feminines. Divine Feminines. I'm ready to fall in love with life again. Yeah, she just wants to move beyond this kind of chaotic energy. She wants to move beyond the back and forth and in and out, and not just of the connection, but the energy that she's feeling. Again, the jumping timelines. When will things just stabilize? She's ready for it. And again, that is what this solstice energy is really doing. It is really moving us into much more stable territory. And as we move into the new year, as we channeled again in Trial by Fire, as we move into the new year, it's going to be stabilizing. Might not look like it from a global perspective. It might not even feel like it from a global perspective, but that's where you hold the line. That's where you remain steady within yourself. You will feel that difference within yourself. Okay, I'm going to get this deck. I got a couple of new decks. Some were sent off of my Amazon wish list, so big thank you. And I'm going to use the mermaids for the Divine Feminines. Okay, so let's see, how is the Divine Masculine feeling about the connection? How is the Divine Masculine feeling about the connection? How's the Divine Masculine feeling about the connection? Wheel of Fortune. Good things coming. I'm grateful for the blessings I've found along the way. I can feel the blessings. That's what I'm hearing. I can feel the blessings. And even though they might not be feeling the blessings in the present moment, even though their world might still be a little bit chaotic or upturned or whatever it is that they're experiencing, they know that something better is coming. They know that fated events are coming. And I'm almost hearing like, I deserve this. I know that I deserve the best that is to come. They've been through the destruction. They're learning now how to create in a positive energy. And positive is not the right word. To create from their higher self. They were creating from their lower self, which was presenting timelines, all sorts of timelines. You guys have seen me do this before. This is the present moment. And if you're in a lower state of consciousness, guess what? You can create lower timelines or higher timelines. But if you're anchoring into a higher state of consciousness, well, then you're just creating higher timelines, higher level timelines, because you're in that higher consciousness. So they were in a lower consciousness, and so they were creating from that state and bringing in potentially lower timelines. Now, because they are raising their consciousness, because they're shifting perspectives, they know that they're creating in a different way now, manifesting in a different place. And so they are learning how to trust and believe in their manifestations. This doesn't really feel like fated or destiny, although they do feel like what is to come is fated, is destined. It's this energy of, I know that I deserve this. This is worth. This is their feelings of worth now. I know that I've been through the trial by fire. I know that I've been through and learned my lessons. I know that I've been expanding. I know the kind of person that I am. I know the kind of soul that I am now. This is really a masculine who has learned his self-worth, his value, and not his value as depicted by somebody else, and not his value as somebody else places on them, but their own inner self-value. This person, this masculine, has really recognized their own self-love, and so they're creating from that place, and they're recognizing that the things that are to come, the good things that they are creating, the positive energy, the new foundation that they want to lay down, it is deserved because they are worthy of it. Different energy for the divine masculines, transformed energy for the divine masculines. How are they feeling about this connection? Yeah, a shift in perspective, the Six of Pentacles balancing out the Nine of Cups, all good things to come. This is really them having gone through this transformation and seeing that they want this new foundation. They want this new balanced energy, especially when it comes to their feminine, especially when it comes to their partnership. Remember when I said all the good things to come? Satisfaction, happiness, love, that Nine of Cups. And look at the bottom of the deck, the Sun. They know that they are creating the sunshine for their life and that they are worthy of it. They just had to shift their perspective in order to allow themselves to receive it, in order to allow themselves to fill up on their own love so that they can then offer that to the connection. They were not able to offer that to the connection before. And I feel like all of this is happening because they're facing themselves, that judgment energy. They're facing themselves. Both counterparts recognizing the love that they have within themselves and the love that they have with their partner. It really truly does feel like this masculine's eyes are open to the love that their feminine has for them and the love that they have for their feminine. And I'm also hearing capable. I'm becoming capable of loving in the way that my counterpart deserves. I'm becoming capable in honoring her in the way that she's worthy of, because I'm doing that for myself now. This is a transformed masculine. This is, I should say, a transforming masculine. This is still a process, but this is a remarkable, remarkable transformation. How is the divine feminine feeling about this connection? How's the divine feminine feeling about this connection? I just saw 2222 on the counter, so on the timer. So I really do feel like this next year is going to be all about foundation, stability, and security within partnerships. You're building a new foundation with each other, a foundation built on love. Four of Pentacles. Not feeling that. How's the divine feminine feeling about this connection? There we go. Ten of Cups, King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. So divine feminine, she might be... This Four of Pentacles actually feels like the Nine of Pentacles. This feels like she might be holding back, but it doesn't feel like she's detached. It doesn't feel like she's purposefully holding back or keeping anything to herself. It just feels like she's in her independent energy. It feels like she's just kind of still doing her own thing and going her own way in manifesting her Ten of Cups. And it's interesting, 9 to the 10. She is creating her own stability. She is balancing out her own emotions, allowing herself to feel her emotions. Okay, she is allowing herself to feel her emotions, but she's in a very stable place. This is the inner union. This is the king and the queen. This is the divine masculine and the divine feminine within her. She's incredibly balanced here. Let me get one more on the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups here. Tell me more about the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Because she is stable within herself, there's a sense of stability that's coming into the connection now. That's being seen in the connection as a whole. Because she's in union with within herself, union is being created within the physical connection, within the physical partnership with the divine counterpart. But remember that this is why, remember, union within the self first, and then union within your connection in the physical, in the relationship. But this feels very balanced here. Let me get more on this. This is too much. More in this energy, please. More in this energy. How's the divine feminine feeling towards this connection? Page of Pentacles. And you see the rainbow there, that 10 of Cups rainbow, and that joy on that face. It's like she just feels like there is a new beginning. This energy feels like 10 of Cups energy. It just feels like happiness and joy and positivity and support, beginnings, understanding. It's just, I can't even express the energy in this card. It just feels so vibrant, hopeful. I feel like she had been in an energy in the past of, I don't see how this connection is ever going to take place. I don't see how we can ever move forward, because there was such a stark ending, or at least it felt like there was an ending. And that ending created fear, it created doubt, it created uncertainty, even though there was still that knowing within her, there was still that faith within her, there was still that fire within her that never went out. Her ego mind was starting to take over. Web of illusion was starting to take over, where she was starting to second guess herself because she couldn't see the evidence in the physical. But through her maintaining that faith, through her maintaining her connection to herself and God's source and her own intuition, her own inner knowing, and following her peace, it's like it's making way for the inner union. She needed to create that balance and stability for herself within her own inner masculine. In order to see that portrayed in her outer connection, she needed to be able to trust her intuition and trust what it was that she was feeling, release the heavy emotions, and allow and embrace, embody her true self, her true authentic self, her expressive self, her divine feminine self. This is that inner union. She needed to experience that in order for this new beginning to take place, in order for her to have the 10 of Cups. And I feel like now she's just kind of almost like she's not waiting. She's not sitting back and just letting life pass her by, waiting for this to take place. No, she's taking action. Again, she is the balanced masculine and feminine energy. So she's not waiting as far as not doing anything, but she's in this energy of holding space. She's holding space for her connection. She's holding space for her counterpart while she is creating her own 10 of Cups. It's like this. It's like she knows that as she walks along her path, creating for herself, holding space for her partner to step up beside her, she knows that he will step up beside her. It's not a question of if, it's a question of just when. And she's not worried about the when, because she knows that it is just going to unfold naturally. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy for the divine feminine. Okay, let's see. Where do I want to go? I'm going to get an infinite abundance card. Divine abundance. Corrected. Divine abundance card. Okay, divine masculine. What's the divine masculine learning right now with regards to his feminine counterpart? Let's do that. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. What's the divine masculine learning with regards to his divine feminine counterpart? What's the divine masculine learning? Yep, there it is. Worth and delusion. How he was just wearing a mask, holding himself back, deluding himself from seeing his own worth. I love this. Intention without surrender can be a fast path to delusion. Learning how to surrender to his divine feminine, to the feminine energy within him, and to honoring his feminine counterpart. And it was only because he was holding himself back that he wasn't able to see her worth. That was the delusion. His delusion was seeing himself as separate from his counterpart. But I feel like that's clearing right now. Divine masculine is clearing separation. And I think that came through in one of the mini readings the past couple of weeks, this healing of separation from the divine masculine. And so what's happening is he's recognizing his own worth. And as he recognizes his worth, he heals his connection to God's source, his connection to himself. He's healing separation. And the more he does that, the more he heals that separation with his counterpart. He's no longer in the energy of delusion. He's no longer in the energy of holding himself back, of wearing the mask, of resistance, of denial, self-denial. And that self-denial is that resistance. And that's why so many masculines kind of pushed this love away, or held up a hand and just was like, for one reason or another, said, no, or I'm not ready, or I'm not capable. And in many different ways, they might have said that. But that's because they were in their own self-delusion where they couldn't see their worth, and so they weren't able to see the worth of their counterpart. And now that is clearing. Now they're surrendering. Now they're recognizing their own strength. And I love the lion here because, again, it's this, we have the lion and we have the butterflies here. The lion is, or the tiger is that strength, and it's that Lionsgate energy. And I feel like there were a lot of realizations that were starting to come in for the divine masculine. I'm getting third eye activations right now, so there was a lot that was starting to come in that they were starting to see clearly, and that's anchoring in with this eclipse energy, the solstice energy, and into the new year. It's really going to be anchoring in. They're seeing themselves in a whole new perspective. They're seeing this connection in a whole new perspective. A ton of transformation happening now. What is the divine feminine learning about the masculine and this connection? What is the divine feminine learning about the divine masculine and this connection? We have divine abundance, and I feel like she is recognizing her worth as well. We have receiving on the bottom of the deck. She's recognizing her worth as well in the way of receiving. In the past, feminines had been so resistant as well. I see the mirroring that happens here. It's amazing. She had been resistant as well because she was in an energy of I have to give, and I have to give, and I have to give to the sacrifice of myself. So that was her own delusions. That was her own resistance. That was her own denial. And now what she's doing is she's allowing herself to receive the divine abundance. She's allowing herself to receive the love of the masculine. She's allowing herself to open up to the love as a whole because she's recognizing that the love is within her and always has been within her. It wasn't just in the masculine for the masculine to give her. It was for her to give herself. It was for God's source to give to her. It was for her to open up to love to come and flow from everywhere, not just this one person. That one person is just a embodiment of the love that she has within herself, or the energy that she has within herself. And so now that she's opening up to it within herself and with God's source and the love that is the universal Christ consciousness, that means love comes from everywhere and is in everything. Now she's able to recognize and fully receive it within herself. This is beautiful. All right, I am going to end this reading with some messages from your person. Let's get some of my more romantic message deck written on the heart. We're going to be back next week, maybe even this week, with some more mini readings, because I do want to keep checking in on this energy between the masculine and the feminine. So we're going to check in on the more romantic side, the more loving side, or let's say the more connection side, the relationship side. I just wanted to see what was going on with regards to the ascension journey, especially with this solstice energy. I just keep getting pointed back to this love. The love is just opening up between you guys. There's more understanding. There's more clarity. There's just more that's coming in for you guys. And this is beautiful energy because this is what you build a foundation on. You don't build a foundation on the old templates of what you think a relationship is or what you think a relationship should be. You don't build a foundation on somebody overgiving and the other person just receiving, or one person doing all the work and the other person not reciprocating. You don't build a foundation on feelings of unworthiness. You don't build a foundation on feelings of lack. You don't build a foundation on illusion. You build a foundation on love, which is the realest thing of all. And that's what both of you are doing. And so with that energy, that's when you come together in a beautiful physical relationship. And we're going to check in on the relationship side of things coming up later, so stay tuned for that. But I just want to do a check-in here. So what does the Divine Masculine want to say to the Divine Feminine right now? If he could, what would the Divine Masculine say to the Divine Feminine? I want to show you my love is real. Exactly. See? Building the foundation now on what is real. Masks were worn, delusions were had, resistance was had because they didn't feel worthy. The love was always real between you guys, but now they are tearing down their defenses, really surrendering to this love and wanting to give to you. Can you feel it? Can you feel my love for you? I want to show you how real it is and how real it has always been, but now I really want to show you. Divine Feminine, what do you want to say to your Divine Masculine? Divine Feminine, I'm a fool for you. Take me in your arms and kiss me beneath the stars. She's just saying, I've always loved you. I will always love you. And I can always feel this connection, and I'm just a fool for this. Except she's not a fool, because she is the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine embodied. She is Divine Feminine. When I say Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, this is her union energy within. This is the balance within. She's no fool. She has the stability and the security of the masculine energy. She has the groundedness of the Divine Masculine, but she has the emotion and the expression and the connection of the feminine energy. So she might feel like a fool for the Divine Masculine, but she is no fool. She is the Empress. She is the Queen. She is the High Priestess. She knows, and she feels this connection too. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for today's reading. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Make sure you go over and check out the Sacred Channeling over on my sister channel, Susan Dawn Ascension Connections, and have a very happy holiday.